Alright, we're taking a look at our review of Insidious 4, The Last Key. We did a trailer reaction not too long ago. There was a link in the description below at the time.
Hey, no, man, we gotta stop. I got something in my teeth.
No, I got it covered. Dun, 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 dun.
Darth Vader!
That's right, and bam! One tooth saber for you.
Oh, well, thank you, Darth Vader.
Bam! Before she gets all fixed up, let's check it out.
So this is our spoiler-filled review of the movie Insidious. Ooh, Insidious 4. So if you haven't seen the movie, check it out.
Alright, you're back, which means you've seen it. Just so we're all on the same page. Basically, old Shay there continues her role as paranormal investigator. This time she gets a phone call from a guy that wants to come out to her old house where she grew up, where horrible things happened, and then horrible things happen.
Yay. Well, let's first start off with the likes.
Yes.
And I gotta say, one of the first things that I liked were the jump scares. I even kind of jumped out of my seat sometimes.
The well-placed jump scares. The well-placed jump scares.
Yeah.
You know, like the cheap ones, we don't like those. But I do have to agree with you, there were actually a handful of sort of, like, didn't see them coming. You know, so that was cool.
Oh, yeah.
That was definitely cool. What I like, well, you know what, actually I gotta give them credit for how they sort of created a time loop between all four of the movies. You know, we knew that 2 took place before 1.
Like Rogue One.
Well, okay, so wait a minute. Rogue One, of course, did it better than anyone else because, of course, it had my main man Darth Vader in it. Kicking ass, taking names.
Who helped me get a tooth?
He did help you with the tooth earlier, yes. Now, whereas there was not as much of a direct connection in this one, they at least, you know, set it up such that this ended where the first movie was beginning. And then due to the fact that they went back in time. So, you know, I don't think that that was intentional, let's be honest. You know, but there was some clever writing that was done to salvage that concept when it really wasn't planned initially, I'm sure. So, yeah, did enjoy that. Was there anything else off the top of your head?
Well, what about you? Do you like anything?
I'm struggling here. I'm really struggling.
Do you like anything else?
I can't think of anything else, really. You?
Mm-mm.
Not even, I think one of your favorites was in it.
Oh, well, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the red-faced devil guy.
You do like the red-faced devil guy?
I do, because he secretly scares me.
Okay, that's
really cool.
all right. No, he's actually really well done and rather underutilized.
Oh, and yeah, oh my gosh, I loved it at the end where he just pops out of the...
Well, and that was it. That seems to be his role. He did that at the end of 3. He does it now. Accepted that doing it now does tie into the first one, which comes back to my thing. So it all works out well, and you got your little red-faced devil guy thrown in as well. Okay, dislike time. So what do you got for me?
And unfortunately, there's a lot.
There is, but let's, you know, break it down and let's, like, you know, hit the big ones.
Well...
Put some meat in them.
Too many jump scares.
Boom! Right up the top, yes. Even though we mentioned we liked the jump scares.
There's too many of them.
Way
Even at the beginning, like, oh man.
Boom,
like,
boom,
ooh,
boom,
jump
boom.
scare, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, ooh, second jump scare.
Yeah. Because they lose their impact the more and more that you use them, or the more and more you telegraph them. So there's definitely way too many of them in there. And obviously those are put in there to appeal to the 13-year-old set, right? Let's not lie. Yeah. All right, and of course when we saw it, fair amount of 13-year-olds there.
Oh, Bloomhouse.
Yes, don't get me started on that. Anyways, bottom line is even they weren't screaming and jumping after a while.
Yeah.
You know, and so that level would fail. For me, one of the things I really disliked was the very bad and badly placed comic relief. You know, those two guys.
The two helpers.
Yeah.
Oh, those sidekicks.
Well, okay, so they did steal the puns, and that was they had one good one. They beat it into the ground, but all the other stuff is just you know, like obviously when you're doing horror, if you have comedy in it that's very peppered in, it can break the tension. This wasn't done to break the tension. it was just like them as two big loser guys trying to pick up these two token teenage girls that were inserted to appeal to the audience, and also for the little nerd writer to, you know, live out their stupid fantasy that the nerds are getting the hot chicks. That doesn't happen. Wake up, folks. So yeah, I could have done without those two guys and their comic. Not okay. They could be in the movie. Don't get me wrong. I hated them, but them as the comic foil, and obviously yes, it's been established, but they really ratcheted it up this movie.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some comic relief would have been okay.
Some is fine, and when you've got a real tense scene, you can throw that in there to, you know, trick the audience. But
Yeah.
you know, when they're just at a diner meeting chicks, and that was where your psychic pun came in. Yeah, I was like, So, yeah, there was definitely that. What else you got?
Oh, that key monster.
Oh, yes.
He's not as scary as my
movie.
guy, the red devil.
No, not as scary at all. He, you know, design-wise was pretty typical. You know, nothing we haven't seen before, which is fine. Except, for me personally, I had a big problem also with motivation, because I think they tried to at the very end in sort of a rush fashion drop this. Oh, he was doing this to get fear or something along those lines, and that tired old trope, you know, doesn't really play out. You know, he's controlling the dad so that we have this idiotic reconciliation at the end, but then to what end is he controlling the dad and controlling the guys in the house to capture and torture women, you know, to get fear? I mean, it was a mess. His design was a mess. And then, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This has got to be yours. This is your area of expertise. I do recall that there was at one point in the movie where the key monster did something that really irked you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he cut the girl with his key fingers,
And?
right? And I was like, that's not how you cut skin.
Or
It
that-
didn't even look like it. It was so
That's not how
sad.
skin is when you cut it, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
But
because you cutting skin, you know, weirdo. But the bottom line is, you're 100% right, and the reason it didn't look good is not anything to do with the fact that the filmmaker simply didn't go to a funeral home and say, hey, how does, you know, flesh cut? CGI. And bad CGI.
Yeah.
Real bad. I mean, I can't imagine what they spent on this movie. You know, it was not $100 million movie. They could have sprung an extra $1 or $2 to, you know, have at least not blatantly obvious CGI skin. It might not have been up to your specs for realism.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then the big one, the ultimate, is the Deus Machina with the mom from heaven.
Oh.
Utterly ridiculous, insulting, terrible on
Oh my god.
every level. I mean, you completely obliterate the value, worth, and ability of your main character. You know, throughout this whole series, not that she's been a badass and kicking names and everything, but she has been the established expert and connector and the woman who can go to the further and sort things out. And then finally, in the big confrontation with, you know, the big bad monster, all she could do is blow her whistle, have mom come down from heaven with a lantern, hit the dude once, and he disintegrates. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've gone over this a million times before. Just because you've written yourself into a corner, you know, doesn't mean you got to pull that crap.
Oh yeah.
You know, try not writing yourself into a corner.
Oh, you know what else was awful?
Yeah. Okay. What?
Oh, I'm sorry, but
No. Go.
Oh, I'm psychic too.
When
When her niece said it,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's
Well.
like we couldn't guess that.
Again, those two middle of the movie additions of the teenagers, and you know, like, what was her brother supposed to be? I couldn't tell. Was he supposed to be like 60s?
Yeah.
Because he was like really old and he had I mean, I get that you have kids older in life, but like that was a bit of a stretch. So I couldn't have been
A little, yeah.
like her great nephew. I didn't need. Regardless, you're right that they were dumb and tacked on.
I'm psychic too.
I'm psychic too. You're gonna beat that into the ground, aren't you? We're just gonna be doing like
Really
reviews
dumb.
and stuff. You're gonna be like, I'm psychic too.
I'm psychic too.
Yeah. Okay. And
And you could be my psychic.
you know, I really wasn't gonna use that pun because it's so bad. Like, it's not even good bad. It's just bad. But maybe there's a small part of me that appreciates it. It's a tiny part, but that's the pun demon inside of me. That's my cross to bear. Regardless, there is quite a bit. Is there anything else right off the top of your head that you can think of?
No.
No, me neither. I think that we've beat on this dead horse long enough. Dun-dun-dun. Pinhead time. So, more than myself. What do you got?
I have to give it a 2.5.
Boom, right off the gate there. No explanation, nothing. Just going 2.5, huh?
I think those jump scares really helped a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, Morsha, you are very forgiving.
Oh, and the red-faced devil. He helped out.
Oh.
So 2.5.
All right. There you go. Well, fortunately, I am not as forgiving. Not in the least bit. I really was wanting this to be something, and I understood that it was a nice wrap-up, so that I do give props for that, as I said in my likes. Everything else was pretty generic, pretty by the book. The Deus Ex Machina is a huge no-no in my book. As such, for me, this is only going to be 1.5 pinheads. Yes, indeed. I couldn't do any more, even with the Red Devil, you know. Yeah,
so cool.
I know. But either way, your 2.5, my 1.5, that's going to make this a 2 pinhead movie.
Oh, math.
All right, well, as far as you guys know, we're not psychic. Therefore, we don't know what you guys thought. And we can remedy that problem real quick by letting us know in the comment section below.
Let us know.
Yes. Plus, like the video, subscribe to the channel.